Hi guys. So today I had a couple of important meetings. So basically, what's happening is that as you build your startup and you're trying to create a company that should grow uh, should grow like exponentially, you know, like have like a big growth to it, then most times you might need some extra funding or be able to get some extra money from investors or people who would believe in your concept. So uh, I was lucky enough to get a couple of meetings today. I actually have a few more meetings for the next week as well. Uh, and it's not something that comes by itself. You know, you have to work hard to make it happen. Uh, the way I did it is that I literally um, reached out to people on LinkedIn that I saw that they are in the investment world, venture capital firms, and I was trying to think of a way to really sell myself in a way that will make them read my message and be interested in what I have to say. So of course I already created some kind of a presentation that talks about what I'm trying to build, and and I and I was asking myself, what can you write to get them to notice you? And I was thinking about what type of people they are and what's their um, geography, history, where they're from. I was trying to find like those, things that connect me to what can be like a good concept for them or a good person to invest in. And one of the things I saw that was really interesting to me was that there's a lot of Israeli startups. So I was kind of, there's something here, Israeli startups is good because I'm an Israeli, I was born in Israel, I'm an Israeli guy. What can I do to get their attention? Maybe I should tell them that I'm an Israeli guy and that maybe my Israeli brain helps me develop my startup in a cool way, something that they might find interesting. So, so in Israel, there's a very common word, a word that is not even a Hebrew word or an Israeli word. It's actually coming from Yiddish. Yiddish, an older language from Eastern Europe, and the word is chutzpah. So I'm not sure that all of you know that word because you're not from. Let's just say that most of the Jewish people or people who visited Israel or people who know the Jewish community know that word. A lot of my fans are actually coming from India. I have a bunch of you guys over there. I love you. I miss you. I've been to India. Every few months I would fly to India and entertain, but it's been a while. But for those of you who don't know what chutzpah means, that's a good question. I wonder how they translate it. It's like being rude, but really rude. It's you say chutzpah. It means like, how dare you even say something like that? They say that kids have chutzpah because how dare they do all kinds of tactless things and stuff like that. So I said, okay, let's do something which will be a little bit of a tease, and because a lot of those investors have some kind of a relation with Israel, and some of them are Jewish, and I don't want to do any generalizations here, not at all. I just looked on LinkedIn, maybe because they're in my circle, then that's why LinkedIn was suggesting all these people to me. But I said, hey, let's start the message by saying, hey, sorry for my Israeli chutzpah. Like, tell them, hey, I'm sorry that I'm falling on you like from nowhere, and I'm like, just, hey, I'm here, and you didn't expect me to text you or message you, but I'm here, and to make it like a little bit of a teasing message, I said, hey, forgive my Israeli chutzpah, but I really want to get to know you and hopefully get a few minutes of your time. And that's it. And I thought that that's a cool way to start a conversation. And believe it or not, I got a bunch of people getting back to me and say, "Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Here's my email address. Send me your presentation, and I'll take a look at it." So, so it's important, when you're pitching something, it's important to really say to yourself, "Hey, who am I pitching it to? Who are the type of people, and what can I do? What do I have that even in a short one-line message, how can I ignite their interest in what I have to say?" So, that way, I actually got a few meetings scheduled, and here's the cool part. I want to share this with you because, you need to really hustle and really work hard if you want to succeed. You cannot just say, "Hey, the success will fall on my, in front of me, and I can just grab it with both hands." No, you really have to work hard. This is what I did all my life, and I always try to figure out what is the best methods to get to where I need to get, knowing my destination and what's the best way to get there. So I was getting all these emails, and I started reaching out to these people. Of course, that I created an Excel sheet or a Google sheet where I was actually following all these emails that I got with the links to their profiles on LinkedIn and a little bit about them, the company they work with, their, most of their emails end with the name of the company, so I could go to their website and really learn about their investment company or venture capital or any type of investor that they are, and write some notes about it and write when I reached out to them. Now I used something which was really, really, really smart. So I was able to book these 2 meetings which I had today, and just 2-3 days ago, as I was booking those meetings with those 2 venture capital firms, I said to myself, okay, let's use a special method from our world of mentalizing and understanding how to kind of influence people's thoughts and behavior. And I used it was like a couple of things here, which are coming from that influencing world. One of them is social proof, and the other one is scarcity. So what I did is I replied to the emails that I already sent to those other companies that I contacted that never reached back to me. And I replied to them, even though they never replied to me. I replied to that email and I said, "Hey, just wanted to let you know, I didn't hear back from you, but I have some really great news. I'm meeting with A and B tomorrow, and I just wanted you to know that I'm so excited about seeing how this is progressing, and I really want to get funded like really soon so I can get back to building my project, to building my business. I don't want to spend time on finding an investor. I have something so good, and here I have those 2 meetings tomorrow with those, big names. So I just wanted you to know that I'm still very interested in seeing you as well, and hopefully you'll have time next week to meet with me." Psychologically, there's something which is magical here, because first thing, there's a social proof here that tells them, hey, this guy probably has something going on, because otherwise those 2 firms will not meet with him. Who is he, But if they found something about his project and they liked something about his presentation, even if we didn't have the time to watch his presentation yet or check out his pitch, maybe that's the time to check it out, because hey, he's got these 2 meetings. He's not lying to us. Why should he name those 2 companies if he's not really meeting with them? So that's the social proof of it, and the aspect of, hey, if they are interested, we should definitely take a look and see what this guy has to say. The other really cool part is the scarcity. And for those of you who don't know what scarcity is, it means that you're making the person in front of you feel that they might be losing something. And in that world of marketing, it's a huge thing. It's like a lot of people call it today FOMO, the fear of missing out, FOMO. But there's so much more to it. There's a bigger psychological impact on someone that knows that if they don't act fast, they might be left out. And you can see how it works in so many different ways. So if we take a look at the most used way of scarcity, which is mostly in sales and marketing, we see it in different ways, such as supply. When we say while supply lasts, right? So when you see that and they say, hey guys, get it today, because if you don't get it today, supply must, we might run out of that product, so you better, get that product today. So they use a lot of scarcity by saying, hey, while supply lasts, right? Or they can say, this is a promotion that will end at midnight. So when someone says, hey, the promotion is going to end at midnight, you're like, hey, I have to act fast, because if I won't, then I will lose that opportunity to do that. Or if we want to buy an apartment and we go to a building and the building has, 24 apartments and 22 are already sold. So we're like, hey, we have to move fast. So this is what scarcity does to our brain. Our brain has that amygdala, the fear of missing something or getting hurt in a way, and we have to act fast. So while I'm telling them, hey guys, I'm meeting those two people tomorrow and I really want to finish with this, I want to get my funding and I want to get back to business, they are getting that scarcity feeling that, hey, if we might be left outside. He might be getting a term sheet, some kind of an offer from one of these two guys, and we might be left out. And this guy might really have something, which I hope I do, that can change the world, and we might be left out. So immediately, in 24 hours, I got a bunch of emails back from these companies telling me, hey, are you free next week? These are the days that we are free. This guy CC'd his assistant, please, schedule an appointment. This other guy said, hey, can you please send me another document? I want to see a little bit more in depth about the numbers and about stuff like that. So it was a great experience. I felt that, using those methods without harming anybody, it's not like we're doing something which is malicious or trying to, no, we're really honestly trying to get the word out there. And sometimes people are just not, they're too busy, they don't have time, they get a lot of emails from a lot of people like me. So, why should they take a look at my presentation? So anyway, I had those two meetings today, and let me just tell you this. It was two meetings back to back with two pretty big firms. And the first meeting sucked. It was horrible, okay? They're not interested, it wasn't good, and it was a disaster. And that was one of probably the first official interviews or meetings that I had with a serious company. I knew that the first few will probably be not an easy task, but it was really a disaster for me. I felt so bad because I felt that I'm losing them. And you know me, I'm as the mentalizer, I have this sensitivity for people. I read people and I can feel when I'm losing them. I know if it's going to be, so literally a few minutes into the meeting, I already know that this is not going anywhere. And what do you do? What do you do in such a situation? I know that it's not going anywhere, but I'm trying to say to myself, hey, maybe in the funding and investment world, this is what it looks like. People lose interest and they disconnect on a mental way. And I was trying to convince myself that maybe it's not, but it was a disaster. So I remember during the meeting, I'm asking myself, I'm the one who's asking for their investment. I'm on the weak side. I can't just tell them now, hey guys, listen, it's not going to work, right? Even though I know, but what should a mentalizer do, right? So I played the game a little bit. I tried to be as nice, but my mind was thinking really fast. It was trying to analyze what were the dots that weren't connecting during that meeting. And then by the end of the meeting, they tried to be very nice. And the gentleman that I was talking to said, so it's probably not for us, but please let us know how we can help you, because we see your enthusiasm and we feel that you have the what it takes to grow. But we'll probably not be a part of it. But if we can help, let us know. Maybe we can introduce you to other people. I said, yeah, definitely. That would be amazing. And I finished the conversation, and I had literally 30 minutes before the next meeting. And I was analyzing everything that happened. And let me tell you, it was pretty easy for me, because the biggest obstacle, the biggest thing that prevented this meeting from getting any way further was the lack of communication. And you know that I always preach communication. I teach my students communication. And there's a lot of things about communication that are literally being taken away from us during this pandemic and during this entire remote work, because I'm talking to that person using Skype or Zoom or whatever, and I'm trying to communicate with him, just like you are now watching me talking to my camera here. So it lacks, that connection. It's not as easy, and you need to really master the methods of connecting to people over Skype or Zoom or anything like that. But here's the biggest problem that I had. I was sharing my screen with him. I was sharing my screen, and I was showing my presentation and what we call the pitch deck as I was talking to him. And I'm going slide after slide, and with all my excitement, I'm not really there. He wasn't seeing me. He wasn't watching. He didn't see me. And the entire company is about me, my vision, what I believe in, what I'm building for the past few months, and I'm trying to really make it into a reality. I am the company right now, because the company is still in what we called a seed a seed round. We're raising the seed investment for it. I said, okay, I know I was working on this presentation for a long time. I made all these great slides, but I don't care anymore. I mean, the next call, which is starting in just a few minutes, I'm literally not even opening the presentation. Later on, if I need to, I will, but I'm not. And bam, I go to that second Zoom call, and I'm just there talking to that gentleman in front of me, and I'm talking to him, and I'm not opening any presentation, and I'm starting to mentalize what he's. I started by literally asking him about himself, about who he is, what his passions are, what is he trying to achieve with his firm. He's working in a huge company that's investing over $100 billion in companies like mine. So there I'm starting to connect to him on more of a mentalizer level, and asking him about what they do, what they're trying to achieve. And I realized that, those companies work with, I don't know, tens or hundreds of companies like mine. But a company like mine that is trying to get funding is only going to work with like one investor for like a year, 2 or 3, until we maybe grow and find other investors. But how come most of the companies that are trying to get funding are so busy trying to sell themselves to that fund or venture capital company, and are not even interested in what this venture capital company can offer them, or who they are, or what their objectives are, and does it even align with what you have to do? And of course, people love talking about themselves and about their business. So I was just there, really interested in learning a lot about their company, and I'm asking him, what do you want to achieve, and what is your goal in this? And as he tells me what's their goals and objectives and what they're trying to achieve, I'm starting to figure out what the things that my vision and my company match, where we match on that vision. And forget about that slide or pitch deck or presentation that is a generic one that fits all. Nothing fits all. And I'm starting to answer him, and as I answer him and I talk to him about my vision and how it aligns with their company's goals, I think to myself, hey, this is where slide number 17 could really fit in. And I say, can I share a slide with you just for a few seconds to show you something? It's like, yeah, sure. And I share that slide and I show him and I talk about the slide. And the second I finish talking about it, I close the slide and I go back to face to face. Literally, I was so obsessed about keeping that connection throughout the entire meeting and presentation. So unlike the first meeting. The first meeting was a disaster. We were literally, I saw him in that small Zoom box, but the entire screen was the presentation. And in this second thing, it was 95% me and him, and only 5% was like, grabbing some stuff from the presentation. And even not from the presentation, just going online or pulling a website that I wanted to show him, and I'm sharing it for like 30 seconds, 1 minute, boom. As I finish, I immediately change it from screen share to seeing myself. And he was so excited. He was so happy. The entire concept of communication, which I will teach you one day, is based on three main words: communication. Remember when I'm saying it like that: communication. Now, this is an entire lesson and an entire book that I was writing. Hopefully it will be published soon, but it is The Secret of Communication. And I'm like, that's it. I'm going to follow my guidance of how to follow these three rules that I invented about communication, and it worked. And it worked like magic. And he was really excited. And he told me that he can't wait to share everything that I shared with him on his meeting with his team members and other colleagues, where they actually make the decision what are the right companies to invest in. And that will happen next week as well. But next week I have at least 5 more meetings that are already planned, and I hope to get more meetings down the line. Now, you see me, I'm very excited right now because that was an amazing meeting. The second meeting really was amazing. I felt so good. I learned so much, because you have to understand, nobody knows everything, right? Especially not me. I know a bunch of things about specific things, which I love teaching you, but there's new things for me, new realms, new worlds, new possibilities that I never touched, and I want to learn, I want to see. And as you know, the best way to learn is really by experience and by testing out things, and really just do it, like Nike say, you just have to do it. So I learned something important. I hope you will learn too from my experiences today, how communicating and being able to really see and feel and engage with the person in front of you is really important. And do not have any obstacles that cut away between you and someone when you're trying to communicate with someone. So if you're a businessman, or if you're or if you're a teacher and you're showing a presentation, always make sure when it's live, when you're actually doing it, to be, to feel the person and always be sensitive. And that's about it. So you see, so what I'm saying is, to make a long story short, I'm really excited right now. I have high adrenaline, high energies, but I don't know. Next week I might get an email from this guy saying, hey, I spoke about your project with my team members, and they didn't like it as much as I did, and good luck with your endeavor, and whatever will be, will be. But, sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Just keep on spinning. Don't stop. Don't ever stop hustling. So let me know what you liked about, what I experienced today. Feel free to comment below, send me messages, let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, or if you have any questions about the process. As you requested, and as I told you, I'm going to do some videos with this unfiltered series that I'm doing, and I'll keep on sharing my experiences and my progress with you guys. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.